What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fan's Voice. All right, everybody heard the news about Jalen Waddle being traded to the Broncos. Broncos receiving Jalen Waddle and a fourth round pick, and Miami getting a first, third, and fourth. Wasn't expecting that and all, like at all. Saw that news, and I think my eyes damn near popped out of my head because it just really wasn't expecting it because they've let go slash sold everything as in Miami did, and I thought maybe they were like get rid of some cap space, bring some people in. I get that. Granted, there is still like $100 million in dead money, but still, they still saved on cap space, which they needed it, especially with a roster that wasn't the greatest, and then it just got even worse and worse and worse. But I figured they want to keep Waddle. He's still a young wide receiver, and it would be good to have him for next year when they draft a QB, because that's probably when they're going to do it. I don't see, unless Malik Willis somehow turns out to be their savior. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he does this year, and then I think that this year is going to determine whether or not they're going to get a QB in the draft next. Honestly, a lot of the things that they've done in the free agency too hasn't made sense to me, for the simple fact of like their additions that I've seen aren't people who are really going. I don't think are going to help out the team as much, at least from what I see so far. The biggest signing was Malik Willis, which I had a feeling he was going to go there. It doesn't surprise me, especially, they got Jeff Halfley being there, that Packers connection between the two. But it just made a lot of sense. As soon as I found out that that they were probably going to be releasing him a couple months ago, and then when they're like, yeah, we're releasing him, I figured, I was like, Malik's going to go there. I thought that was the number one spot for him to go to. But we'll see how he does. If he does what he did when he was those few games that he started for Green Bay, then I think Miami at least might stand a chance if they can manage to get some sort of wide receiver. Like, I don't know. I don't think they did Malik Willis any favors, in all honesty. I think at this point, I feel like they set him up for failure. And I really would not be surprised if they decided to trade Devon A-Chain as well. I mean, they've sold everything else. They've got Ollie Gordon. I know he wasn't bad coming out of college. I think he was like a third or a fourth round pick. If I remember the last season when I was reading up about him and seeing some things, he looked pretty good. I liked him. I thought he could have been, I think he could be a pretty decent running back. So, I mean, if you're getting rid of everything, you might as well just get rid of everything. And I think you can get a good haul in for Devon A-Chain, like with him still being young. I think he's still on his rookie contract, and it's still not an expensive contract because he wasn't a high draft pick either. I think they're going to be able to trade him. And honestly, I know some people might think it's crazy, but I think they'll be able to get a first and some change for him, because especially for a pass heavy team, because I know he's a willing blocker. He's really electrifying. He's fast. He's really good. A-Chain is really good. It's just right now Miami's not it's not looking good. It's like they're trying to beat the Raiders on who has the worst roster, the 2025 Raiders or the 2026 Dolphins. I don't know. I feel like they could easily come down to be the worst team next season whenever they're going to try to go for that 0-16. But yeah, the free agent signings, Malik Willis, Tutu Atwell. Yeah, he's a good wide receiver 3. He didn't do bad over in LA with the Rams. I just don't see him really providing that big boost that Malik Willis is going to need. I mean, when he was with Packers, he had pretty good wide receiver room. Not like full of superstars, but they had some good wide receivers over there. I don't even know if they have a true wide receiver 1 over there, but I know they got got good wide receivers. But either way, that was set up. He was set up for more success along with a running back and a tight end and a lot better O line. But I don't see him being able to really help them out as much as they would need him to. Just like with Jalen Tolbert, they grabbed him too, but I don't know. He in 2024 he only had like 600 something yards, 5 touchdowns. I think that's the 5 touchdowns ain't bad. But that was like with a pass heavy team, and he had Dak Prescott thrown it to him. I mean, I know Dak Prescott's not a bad quarterback at all. I think he's better than most of the quarterbacks in the league. He just chokes in the big moments. So I don't think Tutu Atwell or Jalen Tolbert are going to be able to come in there and do much of anything. I think they can come in there and provide relief for some guys. They're good wide receiver threes. That's about it. Then they got rid of Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, and the only other edge rusher with some sort of experience left is Chop Robinson. I know that he had some upside coming into the league. He was just staying on a rotation. I think he can be pretty good. But then they went and signed Joshua Uche. I mean, he had 11 and a half sacks back in 2022, but he hasn't really done anything ever since. So I like hasn't really like produced something like that. So I don't know how much that's really going to help them out in the pass rush at all, unless Chop Robinson turns out to be this monstrous edge rusher, which gets the pressure off of Uche. And then they also got David Ojabo, who was with the Ravens, but he's only amassed 4.5 sacks in 4 years, and he's only played 32 total games in those 4 years. So he's got health concerns. And then when he's in there, is he actually producing? No, he's really not. If you're only getting essentially just a sack a season, then maybe you should rethink your career or do something. Maybe try to get better in coverage and become an off ball linebacker, because you need to figure something out. Then they grabbed Willie Gay. He's a versatile linebacker, off ball, but there hasn't been much from him. I think he had like 131 snaps from the season before. So I don't know how much he's going to provide for the team. They tried fixing some O-line issues. They got Jamari Slayer. He can play both guard and tackle, so I think that helps out a little bit. He can come in there and start. He's not like one of the best, but at least he's still starting caliber and probably better than anything they got going on over there in the first place. More than likely, he's probably going to come in there and be the starting guard unless they draft somebody. I think there's a couple guards in each, at least in the first 4 rounds in this draft, I think that can come in and start. One of my favorite ones, he's a mid-round, 4th-round guy. I can't pronounce his name whatsoever, but he's a guard out of Oklahoma. I think that he's got some interior O-line versatility, so I think that would work out for Miami. Any team that needs O-line, I think he would work out for, just because like he can go in there and play any position, any of your interior positions if you need him to be. Even if he's not going to be starter, he's your number one backup for both guard spots and your center. But anyways, back to Miami. Next up, they grabbed Charlie Heck. He's a swing tackle, so he's going to be more than likely your first backup for your left and right tackle either way. I think it was smart getting him just because you got O-line issues, you needed it, and having that versatility is awesome. Y'all hear me a lot about versatility. Versatility is awesome. I love it. Charlie Heck, I think, is a good signing for them, just because they need it. They also re-signed Greg Dulcich. He was so weird. I mean, he was on the practice squad to start off with, and he come in the last 10 games. They signed him from that, and then somehow, some way, he became their 3rd leading receiver. But it's sad that he became the 3rd leading receiver, not because he only played 10 games. It's because he only had 26 receptions and 336 yards to go along. It is really sad. It's similar to with the Jets where Garrett Wilson was their leading receiver. It's just a little step above because at least I know Jalen Waddle probably still. I don't remember what he got, but I know he still probably produced a lot better than that. Either way, it's sad. It's sad that was the third leading. No one. The Dolphins got a lot that they need to work on. They got rid of Sanders, their longtime kicker, and they picked up San Gonzalez. He's great, 40 and shorter. He's improving with his with with his with the long field goals, but still a lot left to be desired. Then they went and tried to fix their cornerbacks, but they grabbed Darrell Baker and AJ Green. He's somebody who needs to be developed. He hasn't really been playing long. It's just more developed just because there's a lack of inexperience. Then they grabbed Lonnie Johnson. He's pretty versatile. He could be a cornerback. He could be a safety. And he's a big defensive back, 6'2", 220 pounds. With that size, so he's more than likely going to be the other safety, and maybe sometimes it could be the big nickel. And they had some other signings as well, but we don't need to get into all that because those ones they haven't really done anything. I think Malik Willis, good signing. You needed a quarterback, and he was probably the best one on the market, or on paper seems to be the best one on the market. I think maybe Greg Dulcich could be a good signing, and I think Charlie Heck. Yeah. I think those were the only actual good signings. I don't like the outside linebacker signings. Willie Gay can be good. We'll see how he does this season coming up. But the Dolphins, they got a lot to work on. Thankfully, they do get a decent amount of picks. They got a lot of picks within the first 100 picks, which is really good, especially for a team that now needs a lot. They need a hell of a lot more than what the Raiders do. They need more than what the Jets do. I can honestly see them being worse than the Jets this year. And they're going to have Geno Smith be their starting quarterback. Dolphins are not looking good. I think I can easily see them being the worst team next season. Anyways, but I did do a mock draft after this hearing with Jalen Waddle. I'll show you. Let me show you what I got. All right, here's my mock draft. So wide receiver being the biggest need. I know they needed O-line, and I think I got at least a backup for offensive tackle. And I didn't really see, I wanted wide receiver first because they literally have no wide receivers now. And that was a big need. And I was debating between offensive tackle or cornerback as well in the first round. Yeah, let me just get into this, and if some of y'all haven't been paying attention to some of these guys, hopefully I can help you give an idea what these guys are like. All right. Mekhi Lemon, not exactly the biggest fan of him. I know he has talent. Sometimes a lot of the time with the talent comes personality. But he's a really good route runner, and he's actually pretty good with the 50-50 ball as well, even though he's not the biggest player. He has great body control, good hands. I think he'd be great for Malik Willis to throw to. And I had him in mind for this too, mostly because they really don't have and any wide receivers on the team. Like no wide receiver one. And I still don't think they have a wide receiver two. All they got are people who fill in wide receiver 3 and slot. But then I grabbed Brandon Sis. He's pretty good size. He's like 6'1", 190 something pounds. He's really good in coverage. He just needs to work on his press man. That's pretty much it with him. But I think, and with Halfley being good with developing corners, I think he'd be able to work that out with him, and it could come in and be a really good corner for him. And I grabbed Jacob Rodriguez with pick 43. Linebacker may not exactly be in need, but he is really good, and he's going to be able to come in there and be an instant starter, instant playmaker. This past season, he amassed 128 tackles, 11 tackles for a loss, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, and 7 forced fumbles. I haven't seen too many players coming out of college that is so good at punching the ball out the way that he does. He's good in coverage. He's fast. He's a good tackler. He's not the biggest, but he's smart, and I think he's going to be able to help out the Dolphins defense so much. If you got a linebacker that can cause as much chaos that Rodriguez can, uh, you're looking pretty good. I think he's probably for me. I think he would be my third, the third my off ball linebacker in this draft, with Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles being above him. Still not sure exactly if Arvell is going to be edge in the league or off ball, but right now I'm going to go with off ball linebacker. But Rodriguez, I think he's number three, and with the guy out of Georgia with Allen, CJ Allen, I think that's his name. He'd be a close. He's close. He's right behind Rodriguez. So with pick 75, I grabbed Elijah Surratt. I think these two are essentially him and McCollum are already wide receiver 1 and 2 for the Dolphins, but I really like Elijah Surratt. He's one of my favorites in this draft. He's got He's a good route runner. He has really good hands. He got 15 touchdowns this past season. He's a good size wide receiver, 6'2", 209. He's a really good red zone threat. He's got really high IQ. He has good foot speed. He may not have the best lawn speed, or he may not be the fastest, but he's going to be reliable hands, and he's going to be a great red zone threat for Malik Willis. I think he's going to learn to really like him. I think he's going to be a favorite for Malik Willis. So next up, I brought Jalen Kilgore. He is probably one of the most versatile defensive backs in this draft class. He's a really good tackler. He can create turnovers. He can play every single position on in the defensive back. So he could play your nickel. He can play your boundary corner. He could play your box safety. He could play your blanket safety, like a free safety position. He can do it all. He is a good size guy too. 6'2", between like 210 and 215. Um, I think it'll be really good. We got again that position versatility. I love it. You need it, especially with a Dolphins team that doesn't have much going for it. Next up, I went and grabbed Danny Dennis Sutton, the edge out of Penn State. He did really good with Penn State. He got in the last both seasons, he got 8.5 sacks. He consistent. I think he can come in there, be a good rotational, if not eventually maybe start if he can work out some of his flexibility issues and whatnot. But he's a very powerful guy. He has a high motor. I think he could be really good, especially in the rotation. But it is still a position of need because I do not like the outside help that they brought in. I don't think those guys are going to be able to be a consistent enough edge for Miami. All right, with pick number 94, I got that guard I was talking about earlier, the guy out of Oklahoma. As you can see, he has a hard name for me to pronounce. I'm not going to try because I'm going to completely screw it up. But he could play in all three interior positions, and I think he could come in and start right away. I like him. I think he could be really good. Next up, I grabbed Joe Royer. He is really good receiving tight end. I think he had almost 1,000 yards and like 7 touchdowns last season with Cincinnati. He's good size. He's like 6.5 feet tall, 250 pounds. He's a willing blocker, but he still needs to work on it. But I think he could be tight end too. Essentially just a good target for Malik Willis. And I was aiming for that in this draft because they don't have, I don't really got much of a tight ends over there, do they? but what Darren Waller, but he's old. He's not gonna if he's still there. But anyways, next up I grabbed JC Davis. He's 6'4", 330 something pounds. Pretty good size boy right there. He's a good he's a good blocker. He just needs to work on some of his like foot foot quickness. He could be bumped inside. He's played tackle his entire career. He also used to be a defensive tackle as well. He's a very powerful offensive lineman. You could plug him in there and he's just going to be that immovable force. But I think he can be good rotational, maybe even a starter if need be. I feel like most of these people, at least, from 11 to 151, I feel like any one of these guys can come in and be a starter. Then I grabbed Aaron Hall, defensive tackle out of Duke. And I grabbed Xavier Harris, another defensive tackle. I got two kind of different. I got Aaron Hall, big boy. Then I got Xavier Harris. He's just a giant. He's this massive, massive human being, 6'8", 330 pounds. Get him going up against JC Davis, two immovable objects. I don't know who's going to win. I might put my money on Xavier Harris just because he's going to have the reach. But anyways, I just wanted to get them to help shore up that interior D line. But yeah, this is my draft after that trade. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, this very well could easily change in the next week or so, coming weeks, if they decide to come in the next days coming, if they decide to trade A-Chain because they are on a fire sale and everything's going. Let me know what you guys think of this draft. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk with you guys later.